Welcome back to the channel, everyone, for yet another exciting disc battle. This time, I'll be pitting two understable, long-distance drivers against each other, the Discraft Hades and DGA Tempest. Number-wise, as you saw, they're both more or less the same. The Tempest being a speed 13, Hades the speed 12. They both feel very similar in the hand. They both have very similar shape. Hey, the Tempest, has just a little bit more angled down nose to it. They're both same amount of rim at about a 2.3 centimeters wide, but I think with that downward nose angle, I just think the Tempest feels a little bit wider in the hand. However, both backhand, forehand, very, very comfortable. So getting out to the field, you can see when thrown on a hyzer, both the Tempest and the Hades are going to flip up to flat. They're going to hold pretty straight, maybe get a little bit of turn in the mid to late flight before stabling out and hyzering back at the very end. They both do carry those similar flights, however, they are different just a little bit, and I think for players of medium, slower arms like myself, we're going to see those minute little differences in the flight, versus for you bigger arms, you're not really going to see those minute differences. It's an understable disc, it's going to fly very understable. But for us medium, slower arms, we're going to see these little noticeable differences in the flight, particularly in the early and mid-flight, as when thrown flat, you can see the Tempest, it got a little bit of turn, but the turn happens in the later part of the mid-flight, versus the Hades, on the other hand, it's going to get more turn early out of the hand, so really almost right out of the hand, and as it gets into the mid-flight, it's already turning. Whether you're throwing it flat or on an anhyzer line, it's already starting to turn over. The Tempest, it takes a little bit longer before it starts getting into that turn, but both of them do have very similar stability at the end. So even like on this shot with the Hades, when thrown flat to near slight anhyzer, it holds a more of a turn line than the Tempest will, but it also does fight out of it at the very end, while the Tempest is going to hold straighter before hyzering out. But where these discs are so much fun to throw are on these anhyzer lines. They get such amazing glide to them, and also with that late stability, they're both going, if you give them enough air, they're going to pan out, they're going to level themselves out, and they're going to hyzer back, giving you that extra distance. The Tempest, it appears more overstable just because its turn comes later in the flight, and again, if you give it enough height, it is going to hyzer back. Hades appears more understable because of it turning more in the early part of the flight, as you're going to see very clearly actually here in the Lefty line side by side. The Tempest holds straight just a little bit longer than the Hades, and the Hades, it holds that turn a little bit more, but again, give them enough height and they do fight back. Now, when it comes to the plastic types, the Tempest comes in three entirely different types of plastic: Proline, Ice, and Glow, which gives you a great variety. Whereas on the other hand, the Hades only comes in three ESP style plastics: the Test Flight, Prototype, and regular stock ESP. So if you want more variety, the Tempest definitely has the advantage there. But let's go ahead and take a look at how the different plastics actually affect the flight, which is the most important part. For the Tempest, the ice plastic does add a little bit more stability to it. So if you're a medium arm needing a little bit more of a wind fighter, or if you're a bigger arm and just need a much more reliable tailwind bomber, that's what this Ice Tempest is going to do. It does have that a lot more late stability to it, versus the Test Flight Hades is a completely different beast than the regular stock. It almost doesn't like to turn over. It is perfect as a wind fighter. Alright, now the verdict. Which of these two discs do I recommend? Well, when it comes to easiest to throw, that is going to be the Hades. You require less effort to get it to turn because it turns over more in the early part of the flight, whereas Tempest is in the later part of the flight. Due to that, the Hades requires less effort. Now, when it comes to the straightest flyer, this is the Tempest, hands down. This thing can hyzer flip up to flat because it's understable and hold absolutely perfectly straight lines. Easily replaceable. This is about even because most places that carry discs outside of COVID, you can find replacements for both of these very easily. While plastic types goes through the Tempest, as mentioned, it has more variety when it comes to the feel, which is great. But when you get to the shot versatility, that goes to the Hades because the Test Flight Hades is so much more overstable than what even the Ice does for the Tempest. Alright, So now, which of these two understable titans wins this head-to-head showdown? Personally, I feel it can only be the Hades. Even though the Tempest offers more variety when it comes to the plastic types, I feel the Hades offers much better shot variation. It holds turnovers a bit better than the Tempest does, especially for us slower arms. And with the inclusion of the test flight, it has a great overstable complement if you are able to find one. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you really enjoyed this disc battle in seeing the differences between these two amazing understable discs, the Hades and the Tempest. Be sure, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell, because guess what? Winter may be coming, but that's not going to slow me down. I will keep bringing out content all winter long, and you don't want to miss out. Huge shout out to my sponsors, Discraft and Riverside Pro Shop, and to all of you in the community, thank you very much. Keep banging them chains.